The Department of Labor and Employment's National Wages and Productivity Commission affirms daily wage increases for workers in the National Capital Region and Northern Mindanao. According to the Commission, there will be minimum monthly wage hikes for domestic workers in Northern Mindanao by 1,000 pesos and for domestic workers in Metro Manila by 500 pesos. This brings the new monthly minimum wage for domestic workers in Northern Mindanao to 6,000 pesos, which will take effect on January 12, 2025. On the other hand, the hike will bring the minimum wage of Metro Manila domestic workers to 7,000 pesos effective January 4, 2025. The daily wage of non-agricultural workers in Northern Mindanao will likewise increase by 23 pesos, while agricultural workers in the region will be granted an increase of 35 pesos. Dole says these increases will bring the minimum wage rates in Northern Mindanao to a range of 446 pesos to 461 pesos upon full implementation. According to the agency, the implementation of the new minimum wage for agricultural and non-agricultural workers in Northern Mindanao will be in two tranches, specifically on January 12, 2025 and July 1, 2025. The National Wages and Productivity Commission says that for this year, all regional wage boards except in Bicol and Davao issued new wage orders for workers in the private sector with daily wage increases ranging from 21 pesos to 75 pesos. Authorities are expecting a second wave of holiday travelers after airport managers reported seamless operations on or before Christmas Day. This time, the transport sector is gearing for the expected influx of travelers around New Year's Day, particularly at the country's seaports, which usually see more passengers than airports. Citing records from last year, Philippine Coast Guard spokesperson Commodore Algier Ricafrentes says they expect the usual surge in travelers to start on Friday, December 27, just ahead of the long weekend leading to New Year's Day. According to Ricafrente, the PCG deployed around 3,000 personnel to inspect more than 1,000 vessels a day at ports nationwide. He adds the PCG remains on heightened alert until January 3, 2025. He also says the PCG is cooperating with the Philippine Ports Authority and Maritime Industry Authority to investigate reports of extortionists supposedly preying on ferry passengers. His statement comes after the arrest at the Batangas port of two people who allegedly donned fees from travelers in private vehicles to be allowed to cut lengthy queues. Ricafrente admits that long queues at ferry ports remain a recurring problem. He says that they have already made adjustments in order to speed up trips wherein vessels may begin their loading procedures as soon as they arrive. Meanwhile, the Civil Aviation Authority of the Philippines says there was also a surge in holiday traffic for Christmas Day, but faster check-ins, improved baggage handling, and better passenger flow management helped make operations seamless. But CAAP says it remains on heightened alert with the new year approaching. In his Christmas Day message, former President Rodrigo Duterte asks a big gathering of supporters in Davao City not to abandon his family, reminding them that the Dutertes supposedly have not done his supporters any wrong. Duterte on Wednesday, December 25, faces the crowds who came from various parts of Davao City and nearby areas to receive gifts at his family's ancestral home in Taal, Bangkal Village. Speaking in Bisaya, Duterte thanks the crowd for their support, which the former president says was even extended to his children, Davao City Mayor Sebastian Duterte, Vice President Sara Duterte, and Davao 1st District Representative Paulo Duterte. In his speech, the elder Duterte recalls how he and later three of his children supposedly transformed Davao into a progressive city, adding that his family has never forsaken their supporters. The vice president had also served as Davao City Mayor, while Sebastian currently holds the position. The city government has been led by a Duterte since 1988, except from 1998 to 2001, when the mayor was Benjamin de Guzman. Duterte also asks his audience not to forget that he is running for mayor together with Sebastian. He explains that he picked Sebastian as running mate so that if he's elected mayor but dies while in office, a Duterte will still be a mayor. The former president also makes light of the controversy surrounding Vice President Sara Duterte. The elder Duterte says she's supposedly being mauled at the House of Representatives, dismissing its recent inquiries as political persecution. The vice president now faces 3 impeachment complaints at the House, all filed at the heels of a lengthy congressional inquiry into her use of confidential funds. In her November 23 online press conference, she spewed curses and threatened the life of President Bongbong Marcos, his wife Liza, and Speaker Martin Romualdez.